Okay, this is part 2 of challah bread. Now, after your bread had doubled after an hour and a half, in the bowl, you pushed it down and folded the edges over it, then put saran wrap over it really tight and put it in the refrigerator for 4 hours. I'm at that point right now. And while you get past that point, now we have to grease the cookie sheet. So this bread is really made much different. You're going to grease a cookie sheet, and then you're going to sprinkle it with cornmeal to keep the bread from being burnt on the bottom. The cornmeal is actually a bed it will sit on, which it can cook without burning. And it does have to sit in the refrigerator covered with saran wrap tightly in a bowl for 4 hours. And you will see it still continue rising. Matter of fact, the saran wrap will get real tight. You can actually see the saran wrap bubbling. When I bring it out, you'll see it. Right now, I can show you what I'm doing. I'm just putting cornmeal down on my cookie sheet to get the bread ready. When we go to do the bread, I would definitely have you up so you can have a bird's eye view. How's that? No, I was busy doing other stuff. I didn't want to make 3 parts, so I just figured I'd tell you. The part in between this is the 4 hours in the refrigerator. Because all what I sincerely did was take the towels off because it was rising. And I punched it in the middle, and then I just folded the edges in. That's all I did, and then I put the saran wrap on tight and stuck it in the refrigerator for 4 hours. It wasn't anything spectacular. I couldn't see doing a simple little short on that, you know. So I'm learning how the phone works. Now in this part, you're going to need rye flour. I know it gets complicated, doesn't it? But this is a different bread. It's called challah, but it's still different. 13 to 14 inches long. I'm going to do a 3 braided instead of 4 or 5 or however how many you want. See how it bubbled up? It really did. And here it has risen. Look at that. It's way, way up there. Oh, I'm going to need this again. Why am I? Let me put that over again. All right. It's going to have that beautiful yellow color because I used the corn flour. Let me see if they want any more flour added to this. Yeah, I have my cookbook right here. Okay. Now they want me to rest it. Put the saran wrap over it. That's to keep it from drying out. For 10 minutes, so we have a 10-minute rest period here. And then after that, already greased into the cornmeal, we're gonna divide this up into 3 balls. We're going to divide this up into thirds, and then we're going to roll each ball into a 13 to a 14th inch long rope. So it'll be 1.5 inches thick and slightly tapered at the ends. That means tapered coming down to a point. All right. Then we're going to dust the 3 ropes with rye flour. That's right. You don't hear that in new recipes today. They took all these extra steps out, and we're losing all these skills and things that we don't know. This is why I love the old cookbooks. They have some of the things that people don't do anymore. Like when I read that 1796, I had to figure that out. That wasn't easy either. But because I understand terminologies, sorry about that, I'm trying to clean the flour off of you. I am just knocking you all over the place. Yeah, you'll probably yell at me, say, keep that up. I'm going to leave. There. I'm not going to touch you anymore except to tilt you down. That's it. So we're going to have to get rye flour. That's why I told you to get some rye flour out. So they leave these steps out, and it takes away from the way it is. It's just a cheap way of making bread. Cheap way of making candies. Cheap ways of making all sorts of things. I mean, if I didn't learn from Julia Child, I would cook just like my mother. But she made sure I got that education. Okay, we have to wait. I guess I'll be back in 10 minutes, and I won't knock you over. Okay. You're going to have to crack an egg in a small saucepan, in a small bowl, I mean. Boy, have I got eggshells too. You are going to take a pinch of salt. Now, a pinch is 1/16 of a fourth. Which is like this. That's it. And you're going to beat this egg and salt together. Thinking about making some crescent rolls. All right, I'm going to take. You don't want me to put any flour on this table? This is not going to work. We're going to put some flour here to get it to work. Oh, God. I'm just going to put some flour on the counter or my work area just so I can work it. I don't need a ton. I just need something so I can semi-work these. Put your egg over to the side. This is just so I can work somewhat with this with my hands. We're going to divide this up into thirds. Don't worry, we're going to roll them into the rye. I'm not kneading it. They want it rolled because this is really tacky. It's really sticking. We want it 13 to 14 inches long, each one of these. And we are going to be rolling it into the rolling. Believe you me, it's still getting sticky and tacky. This is the only way I know how to make them longer. Yep, they want them rolled and rye. That's exactly what I'm doing. Okay, take another one. See, women did spend a lot of time in the kitchen working. They weren't canning, they were getting things, making things so they could make something. They worked hard. Like the man, when he went out there and he plowed the land and grew the food and stuff, it was really a lot of work that they had to do. But they made their life. They had the cattle and everything. And if they didn't have cattle, he was going to have to hunt for his family. So he knew, you know, he might not come back from a hunt. A bear or somebody got him, he wasn't going to make it home to his family. God, you think about what they went through. If it wasn't for the Indians helping them, they wouldn't have been able to do it. Okay. Last one. They said 13 to 14 inches. Didn't care which one, as long as you got one of them. Almost. Now, I'm not doing the 4 braid, I'm just doing 3, but if you want to do the 4 braid, you can. Just get you out of my way. I know you shouldn't, but I am. See, it's going to shrink as you do it. Okay, here we go. This only makes one loaf. Be aware of that. Now we'll take care of that after we get through here. Hold on, we'll separate these. We'll get it braided tighter over here. And they said to take the ends and tuck them under. Okay. I'm trying to clean my phone. Now you're going to get a brush. And you are going to brush this bread now with the salt and egg. Excuse me. Don't throw this away because we're still going to be using it, so hold on to it. Okay, just rinse your brush out so it doesn't get, the egg doesn't dry on it and make it stiff. And we're gonna let this rise. They want an oiled piece of saran wrap. So I'm gonna have to get another piece and we're gonna have to oil it and lay it on top of it so it doesn't dry out. Okay, you're gonna go over here so I can pull this out. The reason you're trying to have to oil this is because you have egg there and you don't want it to stick. So what you're going to do is oil this. Hey, I'm doing it the best way I can. Now that'll keep it from sticking and it can actually rise. Now we're going to let this sit for, I think, well, I'm not going to give a guess. Let's read and see. Since this is different from anything else I've made. 45 minutes. They said it's not going to quite be double. Not quite. So we're going to let it go. But still hold on to your egg and the brush. We're going to need that still. And I'll see you then. Okay, you're going to set your oven to 375. Bring you down some now. What you're going to do is you're going to brush this again with the egg and salt. Don't press hard. It's got a beautiful golden color to it though. And now what you're going to do is put sesame seeds all over it. There. I'll show you how many I put on. I'll pick it up so you can see. See how many I put on? I put a lot on them. Coated it all the way around. Now we just have to wait for the oven, and it cooks for, once the oven gets up to 375, we're going to cook it 35 minutes, and then we're going to have to transfer it to a rack to cool, and we'll see how this one comes out then. So I'll see you at the end of this. Okay, the bread is done. I just took it out of the oven, and you saw how small it was? Here it is now. Look at that. Didn't it grow? Yes, it did. It smells delicious. Listen, you take care and have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.